Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Carlos King addresses the whole Kenya exposing Brits, images and all that kind of stuff. He talks about the network did not call it Revenge P. He doesn't really know what Revenge P means. I'm like, oh, okay, really? You mean you haven't taken the time to search for what Revenge P is? Considering certain things happen on your show. Okay. I guess if you say that, I guess it is what it is. Now, let's talk about it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button and hit that share button if you haven't already. So Carlos King on his podcast on YouTube addressed the whole Kenya situation. Now, everybody is talking about the whole Kenya situation. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The plot thickens every time. I be like minding my business. The next thing I find out that the girls are fighting on social media. Don't worry, I'll talk about that in a separate video. But it's just giving like everybody is talking about this. So let's talk about it. So Carlos was basically saying that it's a shame about like everything that happened at Kenya's event and that nobody thinks that what Kenya did was right. Everybody collectively agreed that it was wrong and unfortunate. He also talks about what Brit said was wrong, but two wrongs don't make a right. And I agree. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with what Carlos is saying because Kenya was wrong. I know you lot love Kenya down, and that's okay, but Kenya was wrong. And Brit was wrong. Two people can be wrong in this situation. Brit shouldn't have done what she did. Kenya should not have done what she did. Period, point blank. I know some people would say, well, Kenya wouldn't have gone all the way to hell if Brit did not say what was said. But what was said was said. Now, you should always be responsible for your actions. So nonetheless, I think Brit was wrong. Kenya was wrong. Brit shouldn't have started ish. Kenya took it straight to hell. I personally don't think there's anything that anyone can say that can change my mind on that. That's just where I'm situated on that issue. Now, he did say something, Carlos, that I do agree with as well. He was like, he wished that Kenya had just given her a read that would have solidified it. I completely agree. I feel like Kenya gives good reads. It's funny. It's a little shady. It's lighthearted. Of course, sometimes she cuts deep. But at least just give a nice good old read and let that be done. Like, even if she wanted to have a sit down with the girlies and say, now, Brit, let's talk about how allegedly you were in the streets doing this without bringing images, without doing all of that. I think that could have been okay. But to publicly embarrass her outside of just the Real Housewives of Atlanta folk, and not just that, bring images, that is low, that is dirty to me. Okay? Now, he did also say he feels like Kenya is irreplaceable on the show. Sorry, slip of tongue before you lot come for me. But Kenya is irreplaceable on the show. She brings a lot to the show. He did also use the opportunity to talk about how production can't fire anybody. It is solely in the hands of the network. In a way, I'm glad he's saying that because for a long time, we've always given production all sorts of grief. And it's interesting to actually hear not just Carlos King, other people talking about the network is the one that makes those decisions. Yes, production can give their 2 cents, but ultimately it's the network's decision as to where they want to go. So I'm glad he's saying that. He said that Carlos King producers, production companies don't be having the authority to fire or hire nobody. They can give opinions, but ultimately the person who fires and hires is the network. In a way, I think Carlos is also trying to clear up that, I did not fire nobody. I Love and Marriage Huntsville. That is strictly the network. I don't hire nobody. I'm not the one who determines who stays or who goes. So I think he's also trying to clear up his name, honey. That is just my opinion. Now, he talks about Cynthia was the only person that came up to Kenya to tell her that wasn't it. I think, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to read into that because let's be clear, that was shocking for a lot of people. If you see the faces of the people who were in attendance, it looks like their jaw dropped. They did not know what to say. Cynthia was the only one who seemed to know what to say in that moment. But for the most part, most people didn't know what to say. Their jaw was on the floor. So I'm just like, yeah, sometimes you're in situations where you really don't know what to say. You're just there and you don't know how to react, really. So I'm not even going to fault nobody for that. Now, I will say I liked how Cynthia handled it. Cynthia was like, girl, I love you, but I got to go. And I feel like there's a place for that, where it's like if your friend is wilding out, instead of encouraging and supporting the BS, you're just like, girl, I love you, but I'm not going to stay here for this. That's being a good friend. Now, I will say, Claudia did say that the reaction that the girls had were right. It's not a good look for Kenya. It really isn't. I feel like I'm so disappointed and shocked that she can destroy her bag like that. It's like, how do you play with your bag to that extent? That is some crazy, wild-ish. A part of me also feels that if the fans weren't so accepting and chimey when Kenya did some wild stuff in the past, maybe it would never have gotten this bad. But the thing is, a lot of people encouraged, a lot of people endorsed certain behaviors that we saw from Kenya. And now she's moving like somebody that does not have accountability. Because, like, let's be clear. Yes, you did something wrong. You're not the first person to do something wrong. Own it, apologize, and stop talking about it. Stop making it a thing. Stop acting like people having an opinion that does not agree with you is them forming an alliance against you. No, they just don't stand for what you did wrong because you did something awful. And I think what beats or what hurts me the most is the fact that Brit did something awful, but because what Kenya did was so horrible, nobody is talking about how horrible what Brit did was. But it's like they should be getting the smoke, both of them. But now it's like everyone, it's literally like, it's almost like Kenya made Brit into a victim now, even though she was the aggressor, which is wild to me. Now, Carlos also talks about the whole revenge piece situation. So they were trying to figure out, is it revenge P? If the images were already online. Here's the thing. I personally have never seen any images online. I do not want to see no images online. So I wonder if this whole talk about images being already online is a way to make it more palatable and less crazy what Kenya did. I don't know. All I know is I have not seen nothing online. So if you guys saw something online in the past, please let me know, because I did not see nothing online. Now, other people that I've also seen in comments be saying they didn't see anything. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So if you're listening and you saw something now, please don't send me nothing. Just say whether or not you saw anything online. And yeah, that would be helpful just to know whether it really was in the public before. Now, Carlos said the network did not use Revenge P. And that's how you know he is writing for his friend Kenya, honey. He was like, the network did not use the word Revenge P. And when they were talking about her dismissal, and that was not what they used. He doesn't know what the definition of Revenge P is. He's not saying it is. He's not saying it isn't. So Claudia was basically like, would it make a difference if there are public videos that Brit made as a cam girl doing web P? Carlos was like, he does not know. He does not know the law regarding that, honey. He was not going to put himself in some hot water with Kenya. Neither was he going to put himself in some hot water with executives about his statements, honey. He kept it cute. He kept it light. And that was just that. Now, I do get the impression that Cynthia is also friends with Kenya. This is just my opinion. I may be wrong, or at least they're cool. And because I feel like they both did not go too far as much as they could have gone. In a way, I feel like a lot of people are careful because they don't want the backlash of Kenya more. Heck care. At least that is what's given. Like, people seem to not want that backlash at all. So everybody is like walking on eggshells, in my opinion. Now, let me just give this quick disclaimer, please. Everything in this video is alleged, in my personal opinion only, and for entertainment purposes only, okay? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post or go live. I'll see you guys in the comments. Take care. Bye.